Hey, what's going on, boys? It's your man CGOD, and we back again today on this 2014 Softail Deluxe right here in front of me. So if you guys peeped the previous video, you would have seen something like this. So this is pretty much what went down in the previous video. And yeah, so I mean, it's not terrible, right? But here's my issue, boys. This here, so I don't remember if I included it in the previous video or not, but I removed the spacers. See if you look, and first of all, I cut them way shorter too. Those are only like 1 3/4 of an inch, and they're supposed to be 3 inch for a 2-inch drop. So regardless, brothers, we done pulled the spacer out, as you could see, and we are not even sitting on the springs, brothers, bosses. We are literally just like maxing out our fork assembly here, and it rides like a pogo stick. So that means we're gonna have to make some modifications, brothers. Not even modifications, really. We're just gonna be swapping the fork tubes. So these fork tubes, like the part that goes inside of the fork lower, that like houses the springs and whatnot, are 22.8 inches, and we have here well, I mean, I have both of them, but this is just the one I have out. This is from Hard Drive. I actually got it on eBay, and these are 20.5, so it's like 2.3 inches shorter. So in my opinion, I believe that should net us 2.3 inches more of travel, not necessarily of low, because we want to keep at least, you know, like an inch or so of suspension travel. That way our bike doesn't ride like a pogo stick. So with that being said, I would really like to see the fork tin, this piece, come all the way down, at least around that rivet right there, that little head on the fender. So I mean, roughly like an inch lower than we're at now, and then we'll have a little over an inch of suspension travel to be able to play with. But this is going to get kind of weird because our normal kit is obviously not intended for this. So off the bat, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the whole bike apart, and then I'm going to make sure our little top is the same, this piece here inside. So I'm going to run these new fork tubes through the trees, and hopefully, does this look like what the inside of a Harley fork tube look like? Hopefully, right? So yeah, we're gonna try that first. If it threads in and looks like it seals good, then from there we will continue to install them into the forks, and then we'll be messing with some real low, boys. So let me go ahead and and then I'll bring y'all back. All right. Yo, so we got the bike all ripped apart, boys. Bada bing, bada boom, there it is. Got our new fork tube in. As you can see, old girl really did like threading. Maybe. There we have it. So yeah, she's threading beautifully, boys. I'm gonna go ahead and start swapping it. I'm gonna do one first on one leg, and then I'm gonna put it back in the bike and like see where she maxes out. You know, I just want to break it all down, because this front suspension, you know, it's taken me to get smaller forks, so I really want to see how low she'll go, boys. So alright, boys, so as you can see here, this is where we're getting our difference. The two fork tubes side by side. I measured this difference here, and it's honestly like a little bit more than 2.3. It's like almost 2.5 inch. So I mean, it's still dope. I measured all the impact points that my bike would have, and I mean, even if I'm maxing out at this height, I still won't hit anything on the bike. My bike has ABS, as you guys already know, so this part down here, this is what would hit first, and it's like right at 2.5 inch. So I should be able to max the suspension out and have like millimeters from hitting that. So that is dope, brothers. I'm gonna go ahead and assemble this fork back. And also, here's a little tip if you guys didn't know. to be able to seat your fork seals, get you some PVC pipe, cut a slit in it. I want to say this is what, like 2.5, something like that. I don't know honestly, but it'll fit right around the forks, and it puts the seal in correctly without damaging it. So yeah, I also recommend changing your fork seals whenever you do stuff like this. But I mean, yo, this is lit, boys. All right, so peep this. I have side-by-side comparison for you boys, so check it. This side, hold on, I can't find the fork leg on the camera. Let me just move this. Okay, so as we were saying, this side here, boys, stock fork leg, peep it. This one does still have the suspension in it, so I can't flex it for you guys, but just know it was maxed like right around there. I mean, you can go back to the beginning of the video and check it out, but peep this. This is what is dope. Check this out. So this is with our new fork tube, and that is fully extended, boys. Fully extended. So check it. It's literally like sitting just barely above what the previous drop was. See, because as you can see, it's right there, fully extended. It'll go to the thick part, you know what I mean? And hey, give me just 1 second. I'll bring you right back. Let me like compress it, and then I'll show you. All right, so check it out, boys. Look how close it is to this here. Tell me that's not super gangster. It does look kind of weird, I'm not gonna lie, because the can or fork cover, whatever you want to call it, has a big old gap all the way around it now. But that's cool though, you know, because this is all the way maxed out. Like honestly, I truly believe this is sitting on this, like the actual fork leg is hitting that, and that is what's maxing out. I don't honestly believe the fork is maxing out, but I don't really know. I don't want to take one of these off to check either. I'm just gonna send it, boys. What we're gonna do for the first one, well, I mean, obviously I still got to do the other fork leg, but once we finish that up, I'm gonna put the suspension back in, and I'm not gonna use a spacer again, and I'm gonna see where it sits, because I mean, we can always add a spacer, you know, but I just want to see if it'll sit at a respectable height and, you know, have suspension travel still with it having no spacer, boys. So that was a success, my brothers. Yes, stay tuned for the real low. All right, boys, there it is. I got fork oil in it. I've pumped it up and down quite a bit, get the oil all throughout. So I did this side already, right? I put this other fork leg in, and I did in fact still used the mainspring and the helper spring, no spacer, no way we're fitting a spacer, boys. The reason that I got the fork covers off is because this literally only comes out like this much. So I actually have to have the fork tubes like fully extended so that the oil won't come out. And since it's so short, I'm unable to feed it into the fork cover and then pull it through from the top. So I have the fork cover off and around the fork. So it also indeed clarifies that we are maxing out on that. We're not even maxing the forks out necessarily this time. So yeah, boys, that's not bad. You know, I could essentially sit like an air ride boy and just be laid out all the time. Who needs suspension, bruh? But this is how it sits, guys. So this is with the suspension already in and whatnot. We can push it up just a tad, you know. So I mean, it should sit somewhere nice. It is pretty stiff. I went ahead and I put 13.5 ounces of our fork oil in it. Once again, I reused the progressive fork oil I had just put in, because why not? But yeah, that's how I have to put it in. So I'm going to go ahead and slap this in, get everything kind of like start bolting it back up together. And then hopefully I could put the wheel on, and probably the fender too, might as well. Just button it all back up, boys. And essentially I'll bring you guys back to show you how she's sitting, boys. Yeah. All right, boys. There you have it. The new and improved 2014 Softail Deluxe So as you can see, it's super dumped, boys. We are 2 inches lower than we were maxed out previously. And we still got at least half an inch of travel. It is quite stiff, so I've already got on the bike and like rolled it forward and then hard braked it front. That way it can like load up the front as much as possible. So I mean, I've rustled its jimmies, and so yeah, boys, this is where it sits. So I mean, check out my dope clearance, boys. So I mean, as you could see, we now have like a chubby finger gap from there, and then back here, see if I can get her to focus, we have a skinny finger gap right here. So this is potentially our most worrisome point. But if my calculations are correct, like I said, I literally only have like less than half an inch before I max out the physical fork leg up in here. So I should never hit that in theory, but I do want to go and test ride it at this height because it is quite a drastic change. But I mean, this thing damn near looks bagged, boys. I'm excited. Now, here's another thing that I want to show you guys. So this is the rear of the bike now, and normally on these bikes the pipes like angle down, but I got the front so low that I'll be able to lower the rear another like 2 inches, at least 2.5 maybe. Like, I want this bike to look bagged, but it's not. So this is turning out super dope, boys. That is next on the list. I believe, hopefully, if it rides great as is, then our problems with the front end are solved, and I have one of the most gangster Softails on the planet that's static, no air, boys. That is the goal. And as I have stated before to you boys, I do have a shorter kickstand, so once the rear is lowered, it's not going to want to sit like this. It'll probably just want to fall over. So at that time, or actually I'll probably do the kickstand next and then lower the rear. That way it's already ready and I don't run into that issue. But man, boys, I'm excited. Like, look at the rear. Like, look how close everything is. Let me see if I can get it to focus. Like, look at that, dude. Like, there's like finger gaps from everything. Like, look at my Guardian bell. Like, it's all just right there. Oh yeah, here's another view of this here, what I was trying to show you guys. So as you can see, that is my fat finger, and I cannot make it to my middle knuckle. So, or I don't know if that would be a knuckle. Regardless, look how close we are to the ABS, boys. Like, that's so gangster. I definitely need a stretched fender now, because this one, like, it just sits way up higher than the bike now. So that will probably be on the list, boys. At least like probably at least a 4-inch stretch to match the rear, because you know it needs it. Damn, boys, we're really out here just doing it to him. Look, that thing looks bagged, yo. You guys can't even mess with me, boys. I need y'all to like the video, because we out here doing stuff that I don't really see other people doing, alright? And I don't know, I mean, I think it's pretty cool. I'm just back here doing it in my backyard patio. Yeah, got little lights, you know. We're lit, boys. We are lit. So yeah, boys, like I said, next thing, ride test. After that, then on to the rear. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. You know your boy out here doing it, boys. And I'll catch you guys in the next one for sure. Deuces.